Good morning. Oh, look how rough I look. That's not good. It's Connie and it's Friday after Christmas and I was not going to go live today and I certainly wasn't going to show my face. But here I am. And I have several things that I wanted to chat about. So let me first, I want to see if I can see comments. If you are on here, if you come on here, please leave me a comment so I can see if I can see them. I think I'm going to have to start opening my computer at the same time as I go live so that I can see your comments. Not sure. Okay, I'm going to flip the camera. All right. Wow. So today I have a list of things I want to go through. Let me zoom in just a little. Maybe I can't. There we go. All right. So today I really want to go through what's coming up. We've got my glare here. We've got the New Year's Eve event coming up. I want to go through the Stamplistic tags that I received in my swap. I want to show you my coolest Christmas gift, and I want to go through a top 10 list for the year of things that I use all the time and love. And I hate the glare of this. Let me see if I can turn that down just a little bit. Maybe that won't be quite so crazy. I don't know. Sometimes the light gets turned down so much, then you have no light. See all the shadows? Wow, that's not good. So what's everybody doing? Oh my gosh, Christmas, was it fun? Did you have a blast? I'm just gonna sit here and fix my light while I'm messing around. Try to make it so it's not so glary. That's my goal for the year, is to try to find a light, maybe an overhead light or something that isn't quite so glary on my glass mat. Okay, anyway, so let's talk about the New Year's Eve event. It is coming up. I am on, what I'm talking about is Margie's New Year's Eve crop, and it's a whole bunch of people. I'm on at like 9 p.m. on New Year's Eve, and she gave me the last time because I have no idea how long I'll be on. I can tell you that I'm not good at staying up till midnight. So anyway, so we're going to use the Little Bit Festive pack, which is, it's a pack that includes a few sheets of paper and several punch outs. And I have a cutting guide. I'll post it here on this page today. And that way, if you decide you want to play along, you can cut ahead. I want to cut through a different paper pack using my cutting guide and make sure I don't have mistakes on it before I post it. Because, you know, I do that sometimes. Anyway, the pages that we're going to make are right here. I'm just going to, they're a little hard to see since I zoomed in, so let me just raise my camera a little bit. So this is page 1. Very basic cuts, but great for Christmas. And page 2, it's just a very kind of a generic Christmas page. I mean, you could use it for anything Christmas related, which is why I like this pack. It's very Christmassy, but it's not super specific. It's not all trees. It's not all lights. It's not, it's just a pretty generic kind of pack. This one is my favorite. It's got food themed, gingerbread, peppermints, and I was like, well, there's tons of food things related to Christmas. Even if you just have friends that have gotten together and you want to post, you know, or put some pictures on there. That's a cool one. And then the fourth page, it's this one. See, reds and greens. I love it. Very Christmassy. So that is what we're doing on New Year's Eve. And I hope you can watch. What I usually do, you'll need white, red, and green cardstock, or a lot of cardstock to coordinate with the papers that you're using. If you're not using mine, just know you better have some coordinating papers sitting around cardstock because you'll use a lot of it. That's a small paper pack. And Stampin' Up! Has it for like $8 right now. It's so cheap. It's so great. Okay, so that's New Year's Eve. I'm going to erase that. Now, the other thing I usually do on New Year's Eve, I'm not doing this year, is the Stamplistic New Year's Eve class. They have like a mega class where they make cards nonstop for like 12 hours, and every hour they draw for prizes and stuff. Sorry, I had to take a drink. Anyway, they, I usually do that, but my thing is plopped right into the center of that because it goes from like 2 or 3 in the afternoon until like 2 or 3 in the morning. It's hard. It's hard. Last year, they drew my name, and I was the very last name they drew, and it was like 2 in the morning or something. And Jen was up, so they put Jen and I both on there, and it was so much fun. And then we were both revved up, and I had trouble sleeping. Go figure, right? Because, yeah. Anyway, so they do a tag swap every year, and you send in 21 tags, and you get 20 tags back. The store, the Stamplistic store, keeps a 1, and that's just, you know. So some of them are all, you know how swaps are. Some of them are sort of plain and simple, and some of them are super elaborate. And so I just wanted to show you what I got because I got a lot, obviously. So we'll start with this one. So this little joy tag, isn't it sweet? It's real basic, except this Stamplistic stamps, you stamp them and then you cut out each layer and layer them different ways. And so this is actually layered, and it actually has those little silver stickers on them instead of there's one crystal in the middle. Swarovski crystals, of course they don't call them that anymore. That family had a split up of something, and so some of the other branch of the family has new crystals, and that's what they use now. But anyway, there's tag number 1, kind of simple. That is by Betty from Tacoma, Washington. Here's another tag that this tag I think is adorable. I recognize this stamp, and I think it might be, I'm not even gonna guess. There's so many companies that have stamps like this, but even Close to My Heart had a stamp like this. But this is foiled, so it's possibly a foil plate. And she made it into a 3D tree, and there are treats in the middle, which is really, really cool. Isn't that awesome? I just think it's beautiful. That's by Joanne in San Jose, California. Here is one that doesn't have a name on it, but basically colored with shimmer. It's just shimmery all over, and then there are crystals on it, on the bills. That's one of the Stamplistic, actual Stamplistic stamps. Some people use Stamplistic brands, some don't. It's okay. This one's really weird. You warm my heart like a scarf in winter, and they did the giraffe with a Santa hat and wrapped its neck in a ribbon. I think that's unusual. Mary McGraw in Palm Desert, California. And the back is embossed. So it took a lot of work to make that giraffe. This one is probably the simplest one I received. I don't know. It's basically stamped, and this is stamped and popped up, cut out and popped up. Lots of gems on this. There's a lot of bling on here. Little ladybug. I don't get the ladybug, but okay. This is Larissa, and from Brandon, Florida. Some of them are just not my not my taste. That doesn't mean they're not great. I mean, I would totally use them as tags, right? This one, little cut out ornament, and then glued onto a red cardstock, and then she put the cutout on the back. And this is from Suzanne in New York. Cute. This one is the one I'm like, I don't know. This is from Willette in New Rochelle, New York. And it's really sweet. I love the present. She even put tissue paper in the present, which is cute, very 3D. But I don't get the black dots on the bear. I just don't. I don't get it. And it made me think it's possibly dotted paper that she stamped on. I don't get it. But other than that, I really like this tag fine. It's just a little weird. Here's one that's actually the Stampin' Up! Little house. Do you recognize that? And it has a punch out, but a paper punch that is with it. And there's a little peppermint, and there's that retro paper that I love so much. Isn't that sweet? That's a great tag. Here's one that is a Christmas tree, and it opens. And so let me open this up. I'm going to take it out of its container here. Sorry. And it opens. This is that trick of taking strips of paper, gluing it onto cardstock, and then die cut that shape. And that turned out really sweet. That's a very easy way to use scraps and to make it look good. You know, it's like whether you like that person's coloring or colors they chose or whatever, you can take that idea and run with it. And I love that. That's one reason I really love these tags. There's always one lady, Karen from Richmond, Texas. She always does a Halloween tag in our Christmas swap. That's okay. This one is really elaborate. It's got the Tim Holtz moon and witch, and it's got the little, it's pretty elaborate. It's very cool. It's just that I think of this as a Christmas swap, which so that's weird to me. This is probably my favorite tag of the whole group. Warm Winter Wishes. I just love the little coffee mug from Sandy in Lorain, Ohio. She's embossed the cardstock here. Sorry, I need to do my nails. Embossed the cardstock here, made this little banner. Look at the little peppermint, stamped the background, cut out little snowflakes. The whole thing took time and effort. This has shimmer all over it. It's like shimmery. It's just beautiful. She did a great job. Here's another one that took some time. The little branch and the little deer. There's snow. There's bling. It's great. Linda from Detroit, Michigan. Isn't that wonderful? The background paper is one of Stamplistic's papers from their paper packs. This is cute. Look at this. So this is Santa Claus. And she has, these are those really like inexpensive little plastic paper wrapped presents that, you know, oh gosh, I've seen them in craft stores and stuff where you can get those really inexpensively, Dollar Trees and stuff, but it looks so good on there. And look, she put a jingle bell. Great. And then she did that cool ribbon tie thing where you put the ribbon on and then you tie around the ribbon. I think that just adds to these little tags like that. Very clever, very clever. That little buckle makes me think that this is like a die set or something. All right, this one is really great. It is, I'm gonna keep it in its bag because this glitter ribbon is like crazy. You can see the glitter all over the bag. This is a Stamplistic set, and it is very well done. She did a great job. Allison from Wellington, Ohio. Lots of bling, and it's just really pretty. I just think that turned out really pretty. Let's see. Let me do these first. So this, I'm in love with this. I do not know where that die came from, this snowflake die, but basically she die cut the snowflake out of the paper and then glued it onto just this is shimmery cardstock. Susan from Napa, California. Added some bling. This is foiled. The stars are foiled. It's possible that the stars are part of the cardstock. You know what I mean? Like how you can buy cardstock that's foiled already. And then she stamped the little images on to coordinate. Lots of bling, lots of crystals. That's kind of what they're known for, is the crystals. I feel like if you send in a card without a single crystal, you've missed the mark a little bit. But that's just my opinion. Not everybody feels that way. See, look at this. So this one is the background is embossed in brick. It's got a window that is die cut, and it kind of opens, and through the window you can see Santa and a Christmas tree. There's this is that little, I think this is the hanging gnomes with the swinging feet. I could be wrong. It's not swinging, but anyway, the little Santa gnome with his list. Santa Claus is coming to town. I think that it's not my colors, okay? If it was just the Santa, I'd be cool. But this green is a little weird. It's like mossy. It's a mossy green. But it's artsy, and it does look kind of cool. This one, again, not my colors. It's like the green's a little limey for me, for my taste, but so many cool ideas. So the tag, and then it has a border around it, and then she put a cutout, and then this Stamplistic stamp is layered. So she actually had to stamp it like 3 times and cut out a circle layer, the loopy layer, and the small middle layer, and layer it up with pop dots. This took a lot of time. There's a lot of crystals on here, and these are not fake crystals. These are Swarovski crystals, and so there's like 4 up here. She even put a little tiny 2024 on there. Isn't that sweet? But look, she put crystals on the edges, crystals in the corners, crystals on, I mean, there's a lot of crystals on there. That's really cool. All right, now I'm to the last 3 that are super dimensional. So from the outside, I look at this and I go, well, it looks kind of like Simple Stories or Echo Park paper, maybe. Just has that kind of look to it to me. And then, but when it opens, wah, gotta put it the right way. So the tree. So it is a I believe, Karen Bernson die that makes those 3D like that, where it's like a die that you cut out. And then look at all the little things she put in there. She put in, this is like a puffy sticker. This is like a puffy sticker. And then there's a couple of little ephemera pieces on a pop dot. And look at the little squiggles. I think that's part of the die set. But isn't that too cool? I just think that's just really neat. And I think I took it out of the package and lost her name. That's a shame. But there's that. Oh no, there. Karen Bell. I'm gonna put that in there with it. Okay, so this one I took out of the package too. You may remember, Stamplistic did a card like this during their last year's Valentine event, and this person, and it was big, it was like a big 6x6. This person shrunk it down and made it into a smaller size, and I love how this turned out. It's so fun. And then it's got a belly band. Judy from Wisconsin, and then this belly band just kind of slides over like that. Okay, and then the last one is this. Of course, it's my favorite because look at the cross stitch. This entire little gnome is completely cross stitched, and you know I'm a cross stitchaholic. This is just absolutely gorgeous. From Melinda in Somerset, PA. She said she stitched all 21. Can you believe that? It's done on perforated paper and then glued to a heavy cardstock and then popped up. And that means, in my mind, it can be removed and I can use that. I can use that as a Christmas ornament. I just think it's gorgeous. It's a big tag. I mean, we're talking 5 by, it's 5 by 7. That's a 5 by 7 tag. I love the little snowflakes on it. If I cut the gnome off, I'd probably take a snowflake off and glue it to his hat or something. But he has a pom-pom. Isn't that cute? Oh my gosh. Now, you know my tag, I've shown my tag that was in this swap several times. It's that little mailbox. Do you want to see it again? Should I show it one more time? Just so you know. Let me grab it. I have one over here. And it's the one that I made into, it's one that I made into a scrapbook page with my extras. That one right there. And on the ones that I sent in, I thought I had an actual tag somewhere. I don't know where I put it, but Steve is at the door. So anyway, he'll come back. So that is the Stamplistic tags. They did when they revealed the tags, they did a drawing and they drew my name. What they did was they went to one of those like Amazon box kind of places where you buy stuff people have returned and like boxes of stuff, mystery boxes. They bought a whole bunch of mystery boxes and then they drew names, and then you could just pick small, medium, large box and they'd open it and, you know, you would get whatever was inside. This was what was inside of my box. Mighty Patch. It's a Blemish hero. And we looked it up. It was like the talk of the night when they did this. These are like $12 a box, and I guess they really work great. And I was like, I have no idea what I'm going to do with these. However, when I got it in the mail yesterday, my daughter went bananas and she was like, oh my gosh, I use these all the time. I was like, perfect. Okay. So that's that. Now I want to talk about Christmas because, you know, as crafters, we don't get surprise crafty Christmas gifts very often, do we? If you get surprises, it's usually from another crafter. I don't have crafters in my life who buy me presents, and even if they did, they'd probably be freaking out over what to get me. But Steve hit it out of the park. So I told him there was one day Joann Fabrics had all of their DMC floss on sale. It was like a Black Friday weekend thing, and I said, you know what, I am so low on, I'm out of several colors. I really need to get over there. I can't go through all the colors and figure out exactly what I need. But here's, you know, I wish I could get over there. And I was so busy. There was no way. We were not making it. So I was kind of bummed, but I'm like, it'll go on sale again. Don't worry. So he stopped by after work one day without me knowing it, and he didn't know what colors to buy. He didn't realize there were so many. There's like 500 colors, as you can see. This entire box is totally full of DMC floss. And he had no idea there were so many. He knew there were a lot. But he decided just to pick up one of every color that they had. And then he wrapped it up as a Christmas gift. Now that was a surprise, right? And he put the receipt in here because he said that this was such a story. He went up to the desk, and each skein is, you know, a different color. And so they have to ring up each one individually for their inventory. And it was like Black Friday, and, you know, they were busy. And he said they were excited, actually, to ring him up. And there were so many people they kept calling up more people to help check out because he had a whole checkout for such a long time. Look at this receipt, you guys. It is taller than me, okay? But it's all the different, you know, all the different flosses. And then there were coupons at the end that he used. But he didn't really, it wasn't that he wanted me to know how much he spent. He wanted me to see. He held up this receipt. It is as tall as him 3 times. And he's 6 feet. So this sucker right here is insane. He said it just kept going and kept going and kept going, and he was surprised they had enough paper in the machine to print this out, which is hilarious. So anyway, I just had to show you that because that was my surprise Christmas gift this year. I obviously have some sorting to do, and I would love to know if you guys are cross stitchers. I mean, honestly, this is like awesome. This is the best prize. Best present. Best gift. So, and for me, part of the gift that was so great was that he actually did that, because who would do that? What guy is going to stand in Joann Fabrics for hours? So, yeah, I think they were very impressed with him. Okay. I'd like to know what you got. Well, tell me what you got. I want to know. I see no comments here. So I don't know if you're watching or anything. So I need to see comments, and I want to know what you got. If you got a crafty present, because that is a big deal to me to get a crafty present. Okay, next thing on my list is my top 10 list. I was kind of thinking, you know, Jennifer McGuire always does her top crafty list for the year, and she always has things that are kind of new and innovative and cool. And I don't necessarily buy all the new, innovative, cool things, but I do have some new stuff this year. And I do have some things I use every single day that you I just feel like I should share. So I have a little list of things. I just started writing a list of things that are my favorite, and they are in no order. None of these are better than the other. I mean, some of them I use more often, but they're all great. So my number one thing is this glass mat right here. So I was hesitant to buy it. It took me a long time to decide to buy it. And I had that all-purpose mat, which is fabulous. And I have the Versa mats, which are fabulous. But I knew that if I was sticking with Stampin' Up, I needed to have something Stampin' Up in the background. Their pads of paper that they have, like the close to my heart pads of paper, are very big, and they were always big enough for me to use, you know, on my bench. You know, I would just lay this down and do a project or whatever, right? So that was great. But the Stampin' Up paper is very small. It's like 12 by 12. So it wasn't big enough for me to use on my desk. And so I really needed something better. And so I splurged. I went ahead and got the glass mat, and I'm very happy with that. So the glass mat came with a silicone mat. I'm going to show you mine. This is the silicone tray. It's kind of, I've got it loaded. I use it all the time. I use it every day. It came with this. It also came with a chamois, which I have not started using. I've been using the Close to My Heart chamois. I decided I'm just gonna let my other chamois wear out. But this one is a lot softer. It's a lot more of a, it's thicker and softer, and I think it will hold up longer than the Close to My Heart ones that I have. But this is really great. I just throw little things into little compartments that I want to hold on to. I use it to hold my die cuts when I'm getting ready to glue things together. I just love it. It keeps my glue from rolling all over the place. Sometimes I put my scissors on there too so that I can find them, because scissors, you know, they roll. They escape, they hide. Okay, number 2 is my Barely Art glue. Yeah, I buy it in the giant bottle, and I fill it in a little bottle like this, a little dispenser. And I buy the giant refill because I use it. I just opened this. It's down to its neck. And I just opened this after Halloween, so it's only been 2 or 3 months, and I've already used a whole bear head. You don't need to put plastic wrap on, but I do. I punch a little hole in there, right there, and then it's easier to fill my little tiny bottle. You don't have to do that either. You can just use a funnel or make your own funnel out of a piece of paper. But I just wanted to tell you that's like my favorite glue ever. Sticky mats. You know, you've seen me use several. I have the Brutus Monroe sticky mat. I have the Waffle Flower sticky mat. And my sister got me this Altenew sticky grid for Christmas, because I think she watched one of my videos where I complained that this was losing its stickiness. And this is really old now. I've had this for like 3 years, and I used it always, but it's basically like a Cricut mat. If you have a old Cricut mat that's lost some of its tack, it would be perfect for this purpose. And I keep hanging on to this because it still has a little grip, but it's starting to lose its oomph. And they're sold out on the website, so I couldn't replace it. The waffle flower one is totally amazing. It's a lot stickier than this mat. And it's basically photopolymer. It's just a big photopolymer square. My problem with it, my only problem with it, is that if I took the whole thing off of the plastic that's holding it, it sticks to this glass mat like super glue. And so it's my only issue with it, honestly. If I use it on my table, it's totally fine. But if I use it on the glass mat, it's like stuck. And then I have one that I bought for my Misty. I did a waffle flower mat in here, and it stuck. You probably can't even see. Oh, there you can see it. You can see the edge. It's kind of thick. And it is super sticky, and you just wash it with water. And if you ever need to clean it, you just peel it out, wash it with a little like soap and water, let it air dry, and put it back. This is amazing. Right now it's not as sticky because I used like embossing powder, or you know, that pouncing powder on it. But anyway, I just wanted to tell you that sticky mats are now something that I realized I can't live without anymore. I have them, and I can't wait to try this Alta New one. The Alta New one is different because one side is textured. You can kind of see it's got like a texture to it, and that's the downside. So you can see I might be able to throw that one. The other side is real smooth, super smooth. So if I put this side down, the grid down, I don't think it'll stick as harsh to my glass mat. The other thing that's a little weird about these mats is the grid, the actual plastic grid that you see, is actually on the cover. See, it's on the plastic cover, not on the grid itself. I don't need this other than just to keep dust off of it. So I don't really need that, but that is something to know if you think you're gonna get like some fabulous gridded sticky mat. It does have grid lines in it. They're like thicker in places. Can you see that? But it's not the same as having like the printed grid. Anyway, I can't wait to try it. It looks really great, and that was a really nice. Those were my two presents that were like crafty this year. Everything else I got was not crafty. Okay, I gotta find a spot for that. Sorry, it won't fit in my drawer yet. Okay, tri-blend markers. I think you all know tri-blends are my favorite. I have tried every single marker I can find, and these are my favorites by far. And this year I splurged just a little, and I bought some of the brush ones. I wanted to see, you know, how well they worked, and I'm torn with the brush. They have their purpose. The problem with the brush ones is not that they're not easy to use, because they are. The problem is that they bleed just a little bit more. Like if you have a line and you go right up to that line, it won't be quite as sharp as if you're using, you know, one of these. So I feel like I have a little more control with this tip, but I love both of them. And so I just wanted to tell you, again, I have tried every marker I can think of. I have tried everything that I can find. and even the new Woohoos. I don't even know how to pronounce that name. It's a woohoo, a hoo-woo. It's very different. But that's just water. This just cleans up the water. Isn't that amazing? I'm sorry, I'm jiggling the camera everywhere. And on the same line there, Jelly Roll pens, I'm still in love with the white Jelly Roll. So I got, in some of the classes I took this year, I got some free white gel pens of other brands. So I have now tried like 4 or 5 different brands of white pens. And this is by far my favorite. And the other one that I like, let me see if I have it. I don't know where I put it. Oh, there it is. No. Oh, gosh. I have, okay, here's my problem. I have a lot of white pens. So this brand, this is like the ultimate gel pen. It skips. It halts and skips, halts and skips. That drives me crazy. So somebody gave me, I already had one. I have the Deco Gel Milky Way, and it's not reliable. It'll work fabulous until it doesn't work. And then it's like, dang it. It even has a gripper. And one thing I've noticed with these gel pens, see, it works pretty good. When it works, it's like, oh, it's so nice. But it has a tendency to clog a little bit, and you got to work with it. And then as it dries, it's not as bold and beautiful as my as the Jelly Roll. It's like just a whiter pen, and it dries white. So you can see the difference there. Sorry, needed my camera to focus a little bit. But you can see, like, I have tried them all. I even have, like, paint markers, snow markers that I've used for white pens. The thing about the snow markers is they're great for coloring in bigger spots. And as they dry, they get more white, which is really cool. So that's a good one. The Sharpie paint pen is actually paint. So even though it's cool, hello, it's paint. You can't just use it everywhere. Here's my old favorite. If you can't find a Jelly Roll, I really like the Uniball one. It's more of an ink pen that you can write with. I gotta get this one going again. See, this is the problem with them, is that they have a tendency to like get hard or something at the tip. So this one's almost empty anyway. That could be part of my problem. But I try to store these up and down when I'm there. I try to store them vertical when I'm using them a lot. I store them horizontal in my drawer just because I just can't store all my pens vertically. I have lots of chalk writers and markers, and they're more like a chalk pen. I have a Pilot. This is the Pilot G2. A lot of people recommend this one, and I have not had good success with it. I need to mess with it some more. All my pens need to store vertical for a little while before I try them out. And then I have like white colored pencil for when I need to color in. So you can see, I feel like I do know what I'm talking about. I have a lot of them. I probably don't have all of them, but I have a lot. This is the most reliable, and it skips never. I mean, it's just so rare. If I have any issues with it running, I just move my pen slower and give that ink time to flow. Like if you write as fast as you do, you know, on a normal day, you may not get as much ink, where when you write slower, you get more ink, and then it just looks different. Focus. There we go. So you can see that difference between that one and that one. Anyway, Jelly Roll pens on top of my list. White pens are a big deal to me. I love them, and I use them every day, no lie. Okay, next is my Mini Empress. Oh my gosh, you guys. This was my splurge late last year. My old Cuttlebug just died, and I had purchased a Sidekick, you know, the little cranky one, and fell in love with this style. I loved how it works. It's really, I'm impatient, and waiting for these pads to go in and out of a machine drives me insane. This one is great because the little cutting pads are really small, and it takes no time to whip out a bunch of tiny dies, but it's only like a 2.5 inch wide platform. This one you turn it on, and it has a cutting sandwich, a bottom, a magnet, and a top. And I went ahead and put a little tiny paper shim in there because a couple of my dies don't like that super heavy cardstock, and I needed more pressure. But basically, you just hit the run button and put it through, and it goes through, and you catch it. What's really great about this machine is the plates don't warp, and I don't use my plates to cut. I use the magnet to cut. I think originally these were meant to be cutting plates, but look at this. That is magnetic. That is not falling off, and that's why my fingernails need more nail polish. But you can see, like, you can put things in place and hold them where you want them, and it will cut out all those little intricate things. And so this is my, oh my gosh, this was a find. I had no idea I was missing out until I got this. The other one I have a big crank spellbinder that I use for embossing folders, like those big embossing folders and stuff. And that's just about the only time I get it out anymore, is for something that's really big, because that little Mini Empress will do a 4 1/4 inch wide, which is most things. Okay. Black ink. I want to talk for a second about black inks. My new favorite is this one right here. VersaFine Clair. It's a pigment hybrid type ink. It dries really fast. Now, close to my heart had Intense Black, which is amazing. And Archival Black. These two together kind of are like this one. It's like if I took the best properties of Intense Black, which I love, where you can stamp on it and you can color with your alcohol markers and watercolor. It's amazing. It doesn't run. The problem with this one is it's not actually Intense Black. It's black, but it's not as dark. Archival Black is more of a permanent. It stains your stamps a bit, but it's super black, dries really fast. And so if you take these two inks, you get this. So this is like, it dries really fast. It's super black. and you can color with alcohol markers or watercolors. So that's why it's my favorite. Now, the others that I have others. I have many. I have Gina K, which people swear by, and it's very black and it's very nice. I have VersaFine, which is, you know, this one is really great too. I don't get as solid of a line with it. It's great for super fine detailed stamps. It's not as like spongy and juicy. I guess that maybe. Memento is what Stampin' Up carries. It's an amazing ink. Dark, use it for alcohol. I have running sometimes with this one. If I don't heat set it somehow when I watercolor. So to me, the issue is I just want one ink to grab all the time, and all of these have a purpose. All of them have a purpose. But this one has basically one out. It's the one I keep on my desk every day because I can use it for everything, and it's super dark. And so I don't need all the others all the time. So if you see me using that one, that's why. Detail scissors. I use scissors every single day, and sharp, small, pointy scissors are amazing. I also have a pair of, just a generic pair of Teflon Fiskars. They're titanium non-stick, and I use that a lot for my foam tape and stuff. I need the non-stick. I can't go without the non-stick because otherwise I spend all my time cleaning my scissors. And I use like alcohol wipes to clean those. Next is my Brother Scan and Cut. And, okay, I have three things that all kind of go together. So my Brother Scan and Cut, I got it at Daisy Lane, secondhand. And here's what I did the other day. I stamped a whole bunch of the Lawn Fawn images, like a whole page full of Lawn Fawn images, and I sat and colored in front of the TV one night, and I ended up with all these little, you know, bits. Well, if you try to use their dies to cut those out, well, you know what those dies look like. They are like teeny tiny dies, okay? Like, look at this. So for every single cookie that I colored, and if you look in here, I have a little pile of cookies right there. Every single cookie has a separate run through the machine because, you know, it has its own die. I don't want to do 100 little cookies 100 times through the machine. That sucks. So look at that. That's the light bulb. If you want to do just and just imagine doing a string of lights. Oh my gosh. You would be running that through the machine 100 times. So this is not, that's why the Scan and Cut is so appealing to me. And so I haven't even used those. They're just so small and annoying to me. So that Brother Scan and Cut, what it does, I'm going to have to show it someday, but basically what it does is it runs through, I need to put those in there. It scans into the machine that big sheet of all the things, and then you direct it to cut with or without a white border. And it cut all of these out at once. Now, it has its issues. It's not totally perfect, but it cut all of these out at once. I'm not kidding. The issues are the sticky mat is like a Cricut mat, and you know what happens with those. Some papers stick like crazy and almost peel. Some papers don't stick at all. And then when it's cutting, it lifts and gets messy. So the cutting mat is super annoying, just like it is with the Cricut. If you're not annoyed with it with a Cricut, you'd be fine. I get annoyed with little stupid things like that. The little hitch up problems that I have. Those just, why? Anyway, and then the other thing that it has problems with is some of my cardstock. You know, Steve brought that home for me, and some of it's super thick, and it doesn't want to cut all the way through. Even on the heaviest setting, that super thick cardstock, see how it kind of shredded it, tore it a little bit. So I had a little bit of a problem with that on some of the pieces where it just didn't want to cut it as sharp. And so, yeah, I would say every, out of all of these, maybe 10 images, I had to do just a little bit of trimming or something on. Still faster than running this through the die cut machine this many times. I mean, even if I piled all those onto my magnetic mat, I would still be running that through a lot. Okay, so that Brother Scan and Cut has been a big win for me. The last couple of things here I have on the table at the same time is the storage envelopes with the magnets. I know, like, almost everybody is storing their stuff this way now. But I'm extremely happy with how these work. I can put, look how many, I put all those similar sets kind of together. All my Lawn Fawn Christmas and Bakey type sets together. And that really helps me find them. And look how little space that takes. Isn't that awesome? So that makes me really happy. I have these little trays that are from scrapbook.com. I was like, I can use any tray. But I got these almost free. They had a day where they had these trays as like I don't know, it was a special of some kind. And I thought, okay, I'm going to try this small trays and just see. These are like card front size. See, here's an envelope. And I just thought, well, I'll just try them. And it's perfect for these little tiny bits and bobs. I have several card kits that I've been working on that have all these little tiny pieces, and it's so nice to be able to lift all those little tiny pieces and move them around off my table instead of having them on a mat. Like, I used to set them all out on a piece of cardstock and move my cardstock around. Yeah, this is so much better. And the other thing that I've been using kind of like this is the Stampin' Up! Book. Since I move things out of the plastic DVD style cases, I can use these cases for storage of pieces. So those work pretty good too. I'm pretty happy with that. And so those are basically my top things. I'm pretty happy with this. With these things lately. And my top favorite paper pack of Stampin' Up! This year, I like that wood grain an awful lot, but I really am enjoying the Snowy Winter. This snowy scenes designer paper it has been one of my favorites, and I'm shocked at how much I like it. I haven't shown it as much, but I really love it. I've shown the reindeer paper a lot because I've been trying to use it up, but this is the paper I'm hoarding. This is the paper that I'm using a little bit at a time, and I have this pack and one other, and I just keep hanging on to it. And what I need to do with it is maybe I'll use it today to cut up that little bit festive thing and just make sure that all my measurements are good with that. I just love it. Okay, finally, I just want to show you what I've been working on just for fun, just for kicks. I'm not going to make anything today, but you know, I bought that honeybee. This hutch came as part of a class, okay? And it's lots and lots of little bitty die cuts. As you can see, lots of little kitchen die cuts, and you open the doors and you put things on the shelves. And they're super duper cute little cookies and things like that. So fun. And you make, you know, a card out of it. So I just cut several of these, and I haven't done anything with them yet, but I just wanted to show you, you know, this actually takes several it actually takes several magnets to hold all the little pieces for that. And it has stencils that you can use to, you know, make the fronts of your cabinets and things look more like your grandma's cabinet. Anyway, that's a very cool set. But I splurged. Moose. I have a delivery guy coming. That's why he's barking. Moose, enough. Enough. Or he listens really well too, right? Okay. So this is the honeybee Christmas, some of the dies plus the Christmas add-on. And the Christmas one is really cool because it has like pies and cakes and little gingerbread men and holly and all the little coffee cup with whipped cream. So this is really cool because you can cut all the little pieces. And then I was like, well, if you don't want to die cut and you want to stamp like me, I started looking to see what else I had that was really small that might fit on the little shelves. And there's like this little oven set with the little tubs of frosting and the little cookies and sprinkles, a rolling pin. There's this little mouse baking set from Lawn Fawn that has all the little holiday baking things that I thought, wouldn't that be cute, you know, on some of the shelves, plus the ones I showed you where, you know, there's different mice, little tree. Might be a little gross to have mice on there. I don't know. But anyway, I have a lot of little things that I've been playing with. And so today I'm going to use a bunch of these little images and I'm going to put them on the shelves. And this is just two-sided tape. I put that on so I could color them without having to try to hold them with my hands. The sticky mat works better. I'm just saying, a sticky mat is amazing. Better than the tape idea. I think I might try to recreate a couple of these cards also using, these are all honeybee dies, and you can see how cute they are with the little mixer and the little plates with stencils and all that. But whoa, does that take some time? So I thought maybe some of these little Lawn Fawn images might make a cute little wreath too. So I was like, okay, I think I'm going to play around a little bit and just see what I come up with. Now, they're out of scale. The mice are out of scale. I mean, here is like the sugar bin or the flour bin, right there. And here's the mouse. Well, obviously your mouse is not going to be bigger than the bins on your cabinet, but yeah, I was like, close enough. I'm going to try it. I'll see how it looks. Because, you know, if you look at the little cupboards, and you want to, I don't know, put a little gingerbread house on the shelf, it's gonna be on, like, if you picture that being back and this being forward, I can put that on a shelf. Look at this. Look at the little figgy pudding cake. And I have like little holly berry that I can put on top of it. Ah, isn't it cute? It's a little big, but I think I can make it work. I think it'll be fine. I mean, if you were getting this as a card or something, you wouldn't scoff at it. You wouldn't go, that doesn't look right. I don't think you would anyway. Tell me if you would. I even took some of the little candy canes and I put them on the thing because I thought that would, look how perfect that fits. This is not a honeybee set. This is lawn fawn, and look how perfect sized and everything that is. Isn't that cute? And I thought, oh, I can make a couple of those with little gingerbread men cookies hanging. I can put it at the top. Of course, then you can't open the doors. That's only... there's little shelves that you put in, but you don't have to use a shelf. So I could put, trim a house down and put it inside a door. See? Or I could put the little, one of the little mice inside, right? Isn't it cute? Look at the little baker mouse. I think that's adorable. Let's see. I could hang a stocking from one of the little hooks. And I kind of made this little tray of cookies that I thought was really cute. And I thought that would go on there. It's cute. And I could even trim that down to be more of a plate. There was a plate, one of the stamps was a plate, and I didn't cut the plate because I thought, well, I can always cut that down. I can just use my scissors and just trim that off and set that on the thing, right? I mean, I can mess around with this and make it work. But that's kind of what I'm doing today, is this fussy, weird little, I don't know. I just thought it would be kind of, I don't do this kind of stuff very often. I don't do this little detailed junk that, could drive me crazy. I don't do that very much. So I just thought that would be kind of fun to do today. And I can put little presents inside the cupboards. They'll be so cute. The little mouse inside. Thank you. Oh, this is the other thing the brother Scan and Cut had trouble with. See the mouse's tail? So when it's like this one, I did not set a border on. I wanted to see how close it got if you did not put a border. And it just had trouble reading that tail. It's still there, and I can use a black marker and kind of go over it. But it was better when I did the border around it. Do you see that? And that little, I left that little, see how that is like that? See, it doesn't cut like perfectly around his tail. It's that thick paper. If I used thinner paper, it would have worked perfect. But honestly, do you care? I mean, if you got this card, you probably wouldn't even notice that. Seriously, it's like not even an issue. But anyway, that's all I have today. I had a lot for not doing a darn thing. I did not see. I can open the cabinet doors and I can put those in. I just think these are so fun. So I'm gonna play. I even made some little cookies and I put frosting on them. Those were just plain. I colored them. The edge is brown and the middle's green, and then I used my white pen. And you can notice that I used the gel pen like on the holly and berries. It really does add. I added the gel pen to some of the cookies. when you color in these little images like that, look at that. I use the gel pen on his little bow to kind of highlight it. So the gel pens help a lot. And you can even use the gel pen with your stencil on the little canisters and stuff. But yeah, I just decided I wanted to make a few, I just wanted to make a few little things. Say I used the gel pen just a tiny bit inside his ear and on the stocking. Do you see? It's cute. It adds, when you don't use a gel pen, you may not notice it, but when you use it, it's like, oh, wow. Those I added glitter. Yeah. So, yeah, this is what I'm doing today. Honestly, I didn't make anything today, Heather. I just yapped the whole time, but I showed a lot of stuff, and so I want to know what you think. I'd love to hear about your Christmas. Did you get any crafty goodness? I did, and I showed my crafty goodness that I got. So I hope you have a great day. I'm going to go find out what my delivery guy brought. Now I'm curious. I was afraid I lost track of a couple of things that I bought for Christmas gifts, and I don't think they arrived before Christmas, and I need to go through my list again and make sure it's for something for my niece didn't show up. And so I'll be mailing. Anyway, so the next time you'll see me is New Year's Eve for the virtual crop. I really hope you'll watch, even if you're not playing along with me. I really want to have somebody to chat with, because I hate just talking to myself. Yeah, I have not received my catalog yet that I sent myself. I've received the one that Stampin' Up sent me, but not the mailing one. So I asked online, and people said they allow for up to January 10th. Like, it should arrive anywhere from now through January 10th. And some of my upline in the Pacific Northeast, they got theirs, like a week and a half ago. So I feel like it should be here anytime. The post office is swamped. I think it gets hung up in that post office mail. And that order was huge, Heather. Huge. That was amazing. So that's really cool. I'm glad you got that. I hope it's awesome. Hope you love it. So, all right. I'm going to post that cutting guide today. I just need to actually cut paper out. It won't take me very long. I want to make sure my measurements are right on the cutting guide so that I don't steer you wrong anywhere. And you may see that pop up. All right. Chat later, everybody. Bye-bye.